Tell me about Jackson and the 18 Connections.
Jackson and the 18 Connections was from the songs of the wise great mother of Zimbabwe, I believe, or there was another place right next to it, privately named into their capital, but they would have the theory of Akuma Matata, and they would have the great transition of the Ethiopian fruits through the grapevine. And so when they spoke the 18 contingencies, they'd have Puma, and then they'd have Simone. That would transfer into the circle of life, and the life would transmute into the actual selection of reaching out to the jungle and finding what it is that defined where it is you've cultivated to sculpt your best process into who is worthy, into the Pantherian, and what would become the shamanistic way of the path of the Erudites, the Pantherians, and the Prometheans. So the 18 roots would transfer to 3 from the Great Wise Woman, which was Mother of Nas. And so Dr. Dre would kind of cultivate where Ross and Irving Johnson, they would help Adobe, right? Not really Adobe, but to create a potions purifier. And they teach you how you can change the way that life must come into you. So if they called soul food, all the farmers would pretend Kentucky, but in the truth, when you could really make soul food out of chicken, it would still be in the regards of their process of their absence and their abstinence. And then they would tell you how to have no worry from what you come from, and they would tell you how to eat the bugs, and that it would kind of like how you're a lost Avatorian model. And then they would probably win the beauty pageant in America, from where I came from, or how long my life has been. So when they won the beauty pageant in America, it was because they were not just selected because they did good where they were from, but they were sharing the woman why it would be. Why is it you think that your beauty is good to be, Miss Africa or Miss of a state in America? Like, why would you be the beauty pageant of this state and be that modelized figure? And so that's how they won the beauty pageant. But deep down, to me, I knew what the songs meant. I knew the Reformation. I mean, I was Dre my whole life. So, there's a lot more context than just, the fathom of the books together. And when Taitnomaki struck with the ancestors of Taitnomaki, of the Red Lightning, you'd have Diomedes and Perseus of the Promethean, of the Greek way. And the Greek was context away from not just the Pantherian context of how we were primitive apes or 50 cents or G-Unit. We weren't like gangster unit. It was like the context of the next evolution of our abstinence of time. And we would re-theorize our ability to context what it is, where we would cultivate what reflects not on the print of money, but yet what we fathom in our gold. Because we could only have water if we know what comes from the worries and wonders of the wind.
Can you tell me about the people that inspired you for basketball and how you learned your plays, your body language, and your politeness when you play?
My favorite coach of basketball would probably be Eddie Blount Jackson, because whenever I was in the N1 mixtape and I'd be training, he'd spend the most time and everyone wagering for someone. If someone wanted to voucher you to play for a certain team, he wouldn't wager money. He'd just be there the entire time, like that guy in the park. And so then he became my ultimate driver, and he became like my master's degree that I had in college to business. But truthfully, the guy that's just there waiting for 11 hours to run my lines, which we used to call suicides, from line, stop, line, stop, line, stop, like the Samuel L. Jackson movie. And I'd sprint from like 9 a.m. to 11 at night. and everybody left around 7:30 or 8 for dinner. But Eddie Blount Jackson would be there for a day and a half until we were ready to go. We were ready to go win. And after that, we just we got a bunch of money. We left N1. You know, we did the chocolate thing, the small business billboards for everybody who still wants the N1 incentive of, you know, the minimum wage jobs would make a little bit more in the entertainment aspect of exercising and still getting fast food. And those would still turn into businesses in the NBA. And those would make more money in sales of NBA instead of the N1 mixtape. And so we were kind of like, we were using what we had nothing from, and it would turn into the business of the league itself, but we weren't even admitted into the league. And then we made it into the league. And that's when they took Skip to My Lou and all them street ballers, not just out of Ruckus Park. So that was probably how I truly love Dr. Dre, or, you know, Wilson, and the real NBA ambassadors. But I always, my longest personal coach was probably Eddie Blount Jackson.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So sorry. Yes, thank you for your time.
You're awesome. Thank you.
You are too, so much.
Thank you for speaking.
All